the mighty and resilient Merrimack River, carving through the communities of our great region. My name is Linda Lorden, proud president of Merrimack County Savings Bank, and like the river that serves as our namesake, we're a constant yet ever-changing presence. Because to us, it's bigger than banking. It's about powering communities and putting people first. It's about knowing where you came from and where you're going. That's Merrimack style. Visit us at themerrimack.com.
This is the Washington Times front page for Thursday, July 11th, 2024. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said that Ukraine's acceptance into the world's most powerful military alliance is not a question of if, but when. Mike Glenn reports Stoltenberg, speaking at NATO's 75th anniversary summit in Washington, said, "We will continue to support them on the irreversible path to NATO membership after a day of meetings with the leaders of the 32 NATO member countries." The summit's official declaration could spark a fierce reaction in Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin launched his invasion of Ukraine in 2022 in part to block it from ever joining the alliance. Former President Barack Obama's White House aides have become the loudest voices calling for President Biden to withdraw from the 2024 presidential race. Susan Ferricchio reports David Axelrod, John Favreau, Ben Rhodes, and Tommy Vitor are among the former Obama aides saying Biden should exit. They took their message to social media and talk shows this week, even as Obama himself has publicly backed his former vice president. The former staffers also promoted a New York Times opinion piece written by one of Obama's celebrity friends, actor George Clooney, calling for Biden to withdraw from the race. Since Biden's confused and sometimes incoherent June 27th debate with former President Trump, some Democrats have called for him to bow out of the presidential race. Yet White House correspondent Jeff Murdoch reports questions about Biden's fitness to serve were apparent years before the debate when he struggled to complete his thoughts and stared vacantly. Though Jeff chronicled the president's deterioration and polls recorded voters' growing doubts about his fitness for office, his issues were rarely reported otherwise. Throughout Biden's presidency, aides have aggressively resisted the idea that he's become diminished and have tried to change the narrative. U.S. officials are sounding the alarm about foreign adversaries' use of artificial intelligence to manipulate Americans. Ryan Lovelace reports China, Iran, and Russia are all looking to leverage social media to deceive Americans ahead of the November election, according to the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. Although Russia is interested in the presidential contest, intelligence community analysts say China is not planning to influence the outcome because it sees little gain in choosing between the two major political parties. A federally funded study has found toddlers using touchscreen tablets are less likely than those who play with real toys to communicate or interact socially with their parents. Sean Salai reports researchers found that toddlers playing a popular tablet game responded to fewer nonverbal cues for attention from parents, with boys taking longer than girls to acknowledge adult behavioral requests. This lack of attention to face-to-face interaction increased with age, and among those whose homes reported more social media use. The study is among the first to provide hard evidence that digital screen addiction starts in the toddler years and is more likely to develop with certain types of social media apps. And finally, Ukrainian soldiers fighting against Russia have embraced a modern way of preserving their legacy by freezing their sperm so their partners can bear their children if they're killed in battle. For the past 2 years, a professor and his team at a Western Ukrainian university have offered soldiers and their partners treatments to freeze sperm and embryos, as well as in vitro fertilization, all free of charge. Ukrainian authorities said the country's population fell to 36.3 million as of August 2023. Only 187,000 babies were born last year, a third fewer than before Russia's invasion. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.